Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Glenn Gonzales. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting for our 10th annual Aviation Month. I am so grateful to have you here. We've had a few glitches, but I'm so glad you're able to stick in there with us, help us get your message out because you're doing great things. Jet It out there. For anyone who wants to go check it out, after the interview, go jetit.com. There's a big trend going on with private jet aviation, and that is the rise of private jet aviation for normal folks who never thought they'd fly charter, but they are. And it's called revenge travel, the rise of revenge travel. So we're going to go and share all that and go into the nitty gritty. But before we go there, share a little bit with the audience about your background in aviation.
Well, thank you, Christina. Thank you so much for having me on Savvy Broadcasting and the whole Jet team, and Jet Club as well, our European sister company. You know, I've been very fortunate. I've always wanted to be in aviation. As far as I can remember, I wanted to fly airplanes, and that turned into an opportunity to attend the Air Force Academy. And I played basketball there. That was one of my dreams. And the other dream was to become a pilot and to fly. And I had the opportunity initially to go to pilot training, teach T-38s, which is students going on to fly fighters and bombers, their first supersonic flight. I'd take them on their first, true high-speed, low-altitude formation flight. I taught those students those things and then went on to fly fighters myself. And that experience was exceptional, but I then transitioned. Air Force needs and family needs met at a crossroads, and things worked out that I could go to Gulfstream Aerospace in Savannah, Georgia. That was my introduction to business aviation. Unfortunately, after two months of being there, I was furloughed. And there's a saying in aviation, if you have not been furloughed, you're about to be as a pilot. And so from that experience, I set my sights on doing other things other than just being an aviator. And that's where I fell in love with the sales side of the business. I started selling airplanes for Honda Aircraft Company and recognized a gap in the market. And here we are today with Jet It.
That is phenomenal. Now, I'm wondering, Glenn, from all of your experience in the cockpit, what are some of the greatest lessons you've learned in the cockpit that you've been able to apply to sales and then growing your business as well?
Yeah, I tell everyone who's interested in learning to fly, it is one of the best decisions you can make. Flying teaches you so many things differently. Your approach to life is different. Your risk-taking, your decision-making, all of those things are different. And all of those things have applied in Jet It and setting up and running this company. I like to think of it as my professional experience as initially an aviator, as a corporate pilot, as a business person and salesperson all around this industry have all been provided me with a number of transferable skills from the fighter pilot side of things, as a strategist, as a planner, teaching me how to mitigate risk and plan for potential competitors and threats that are out there, fast followers, changes in the marketplace. As a corporate pilot, I had to understand all of the business elements of Jet It, from flying the airplane, servicing the airplane, selling the airplane, buying the airplanes, and all of the contracts, the myriad of contracts that go along with that. And then the last piece of that is the business. You have to understand the marketplace and have to try to figure out a way to be competitive, but find a way to stay on the right side of zero. And fortunately for Jet It and Jet Club, we're the only company right now that's operating in 3 geographic territories. And we have been just that. We've been operating profitably since our inception.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Even during this crazy time where a lot of businesses have had to struggle during the pandemic, you guys have actually exploded. Explain a little bit why you think that is. We're hearing a little bit about revenge travel. What does that mean?
Yeah, revenge travel. I kind of think of it as when I was a kid and it was time to go out for recess. Yeah. And you have, it's been raining all week long and it's Friday afternoon and the sun finally is shining and everyone's behaved that week. And now you want to get out and run and play. And that's where we all are. We've been cooped up in our homes and working from home. We haven't been able to go to church. If we go to church or whatever it is, our outlets are normally, they've been withheld from us. And so the result of that is, we've got these annual trips that we may have missed last year. Well, the world is open again. Let's go. And so people are taking revenge on the time lost and going out and having a great time. And that's where they come to us to provide some travel support.
That's awesome. And it's true. It's so true. It's like, let's go, jet it. And but also you mentioned something very interesting. You mentioned that you've learned to take risk being an aviator and then a salesperson and then a business owner. But what I'm guessing is risk is calculated. And what I'm guessing is in aviation, we have a thing known as I forgot the terminology, but when you take risk that is dangerous, what's that called?
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. But anyway, what I'm guessing is you've learned to take risks that are actually beneficial. Because in life, I often hear people say, well, I'm just waiting till the, stars align and whatever. But I'm guessing because you do have to validate your risk in the cockpit and see what's the best move, that allows you to better make moves in real life.
Absolutely. My daughters and I talk about it all of the time. And it's something that I teach them. It's okay to do things that are dangerous, but it's not okay to do things that are unsafe. Mm-hmm. And as you're planning out and trying to determine, well, what is dangerous and what's unsafe? Strapping on a fighter aircraft can be considered dangerous, but if you can figure out what the risks are, if you can figure out where the challenges might lie and how to mitigate your risk on a long flight to determine how do I land with IFR reserve fuel in this environment? Those are things that you think about as a pilot. Where you help yourself mitigate your risk. It might be considered dangerous by some. Of course, that's a relative statement, but unsafe is unsafe to all. And that's where a lot of the time, as we're exploring things for our business, we're looking for the things that might be challenging, but the reward of success is always there. And we always make sure that in everything that we do, there are only two priorities at Jedit. Number one, operate safely. Number two, keep people happy. And so we approach every decision with those first two priorities in place. We root those decisions in our values. And in large part, it's helping us succeed because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm picking up from that is really, as a business owner, to take the calculated risk means to always be prepared, look at all the different outcomes, but always be working on them. So when the time comes, you can move but make calculated risks that are not going to put you in a danger position.
Absolutely. You have to stay out in front of whatever decisions, what might happen next. In flying fighters, we're often thinking about the threats that are known, thinking about the known unknown threats, and then you also have to be prepared for the unknown unknowns, the fog and friction of war that comes about that you couldn't have planned for, but you have to have a little extra fuel to be ready for that unknown situation that occurs.
Yeah, you're being prepared for that. What ifs. But what's awesome about this also is that you provide absolutely exceptional customer care at Jedit. Explain that, because not everyone has that down in the aviation industry, and you guys do.
It is something that's tough to do. You get great service when you go to Chick-fil-A or to Moe's. Yeah. And everyone says, well, welcome to Moe's, and hi, and there's a smile. But when you're dealing with an audience that is already inundated with great service everywhere, how do you provide a higher level of experience? It's first off, it's listening, understanding what it is that they're doing, where they're going, and then providing value to that. With Jedit, we have a 24/7 concierge. Anything and everything you might need is readily available to you. If you spill wine on your shirt because of a turbulent flight, if you ask for another shirt, we'll find you another shirt. And if you are in need of a place to find a reservation, we'll find you a great restaurant for your audience. So anything and everything that you might need is available to you. But we also have great partners. Concentric Advisors provides security, whether it's online security, physical security, vehicle security. They're there and available. If you need an on-demand sommelier, we utilize Heart and Cruise. So we have great relationships around a number of different areas in which we know that our clients and our passengers are very much interested in.
Yeah, this is what I want people to understand. If you've never thought of flying private jet aviation, or you think it's too outside your means, it's not. And Jetta has just the way for everyone to be able to enjoy this. And what's wonderful, and I've experienced this with some of the great FBOs out there with great customer service, is that they'll look for ways to help you out. Like we came in one night at 4 a.m. and they found us a hotel room because they had those connections. And like you're saying there, because you've built partnerships in the area, you're able to serve your customer in a bigger and broader way. But share with the audience who might not be familiar how accessible private aviation is and how they can get on board immediately with Jetit.
Sure. Well, you know what's so fascinating about the Jetit business model? As a share owner, you're only flying for $1,600 an hour. It's an unmatched price point to have the entire private jet. It's a twin engine jet. It's flying the same speeds as a lot of commercial airliners, and it's flying up and above the weather. It's spacious, it's comfortable, it's quiet. It's an amazing experience for $1,600 an hour. But then you couple that with the concierge experience and then take it a step further for additional value. It's your airplane for the entire day. To have the airplane, to be able to conduct business and touch 3 or 4 cities in one day, and the return on investment is just invaluable in so many cases.
Yeah.
But let's take it one more step further. Because we are the only company with a geographical regions of Europe, Canada, and the United States, if you're flying and traveling to one of those environments, whether it's for recreation or for business, you can have a consistent experience in all of those environments. And we're proud to be able to offer that amazing value to our owners for an amazing price point and value.
Yeah, and you know, people think it's outside their range, but honestly, if you have a bunch of your friends go in on it and you want to do that wonderful European vacation, this is just the way to do it with less hassle, a lot more fun, because that aircraft is yours while you have it rented, and it's a phenomenal experience. Now, I fly with my husband, who's a pilot, but it's like flying Jetit because it's a 4-seater, but it's a little smaller. But nothing beats traveling general aviation, I feel.
Well, what's so fascinating, Christina, is you and your husband can also fly with us in our Red Jet Squadron. Our Red Jet Squadron consists of those owner pilots, those people who are willing to get trained in the airplane, that can maintain their medical. They just fly next to one of our captains and still have this amazing experience for $1,600 an hour.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I've always wanted to fly jet. Oh my gosh, you gave us something to think about. Well,
life is short. Fly a jet.
Well, it's been great having you back on Savvy, Glenn. I just have to thank you again for coming to our 10th annual Aviation Month. But tell again everyone where they can sign up and go find out more and get their flight booked today. How can they do that?
You bet. Just meet us on our website and contact us. It's gojetit.com.
All righty, everyone, go jet it today. Let's go. And thank you so much, Glenn, for coming to Savvy Broadcasting for our 10th annual Aviation Month.
Quite the treat. Thank you so much for having me, Christina.
You betcha. Take care.
Like, subscribe, and share this episode. To listen to more Savvy episodes and Savvy Biz Tips, go to www.lifeunscriptedradio.com. To find out about our paid sponsorship opportunities or how to become a guest, email Christina at lifeunscriptedradio.com.